Hi everyone, welcome back to my studio. Today I want to paint with you a spontaneous painting. It will not be part of my new collection. It's just something to take my mind off everything else. And I'll share with you some quiet moments from my week. Don't mind me looking at this sometimes, I just need to remember the key points I want to talk about. So, this week felt different from usual because I had a bit more time. I didn't have to jump from one thing and another. Sometimes I'm also in a rush because I have um, a lot of things to do. But this week was a bit quieter, so I had the chance to do something different than usual. And I really needed that. Even though I'm loving the fact that I'm participating in so many social events, as you know, it's something a bit out of my comfort zone. Sometimes I just need to be alone to recharge my social battery. For most of my life, slowing down and taking time for myself made me feel a bit guilty. Or at least if I wasn't doing something productive, I felt guilty. And I'm finally accepting the idea that I can just relax sometimes without feeling guilty. Um, Especially now that I am trying to manage all this social media stuff. It's not easy. Look how beautiful this color is. It's not easy, but I think I am on my way to find my balance, so that I don't have to stress out, um, and I still manage to do all the things I have to do. So this week I also had the chance to read more, not only this week, but this week in particular. And I don't always read novels. Sometimes I just read manuals for personal growth. But still, I find reading so relaxing. Literally all my childhood was spent reading because I didn't have video games. And when I was little, I also didn't have so many friends. So reading has always been a huge part of my life, and also a lot comforting to me. Even in the most difficult times of my life, where I couldn't even read because I I was not in the mood of doing anything, when I actually started reading again, it helped me a lot to go on and to overcome everything else, because it takes my mind off my problems, and it's really relaxing for me. So this week I had more time to read, and it felt awesome. Actually, I'm also rewatching H2O Just Add Water. There is a TV series from my childhood that I really loved when I was little, and it's very funny and nostalgic, so I find it very comforting. It's like when you visit an old friend you hadn't seen in years. It's really comforting. And I also came back to my garden because I've been so busy, so focused on all the things that I had to do, that I abandoned a bit my vegetable garden. So I was worried that many of my plants could have died, but luckily they're still alive. They were just covered in so many weeds that the weeds had taken over everything else. But I am really glad that the plants most of them were still alive. And I also didn't expect some of them to actually grow. So it was a really nice surprise. And I think it was also a nice reminder that growth doesn't need to be tidy and clean. Sometimes growth can come even from weeds and messy environments. Also, I really do love spending time outside in nature, because it's not like being in front of a screen. In nature, everything is slow and calm and silent. Not so silent, because you can hear all the animal sounds and the leaves that move with the wind. But it's it's a kind of sound that doesn't bother me, that actually make me feel relaxed. Not like racing cars and ambulances in the roads. And every time I spend even just 5 minutes in my garden or walking in nature, I immediately feel better. It helps me to stay in the present moment. Even when I'm painting, I usually feel like that, because I tune out and I don't think about anything else. In fact, during one of my live painting events, some people made fun of me in a cute way, saying that I looked like hypnotized while I was painting, because I actually don't care about anything else while I'm painting, and it's a wonderful sensation. So it can be anything, it's subjective. For me, maybe painting or nature or a comforting TV show from my childhood. But it could also be like music, a good book, or sports. Even when I skate, I feel super free and I don't worry about all my thoughts. Finally, I'm starting to understand that slowing down doesn't mean failure, doesn't mean being lazy. So I don't have to feel guilty, but I have to embrace it, because sometimes I really need the time off to come back even stronger and more relaxed. Even in my paintings, I try to convey that feeling of peace, calmness, slowing down. That's why I really love to paint nature, because it really embodies that feeling, for me at least. I often talk about these topics in my newsletter. If you join, you have early access to my new collection. You can join by clicking in the link below. I would really love you to be on my newsletter, so that we can talk about these topics more often and in a more direct way. And if you are already a member of my newsletter, feel free to reply to me. I would be really glad to read you. So this is not complete, it's just a base. I'll probably add some oil colors later. It's just a sketch. I wanted something spontaneous to feel a bit more free since I've been working on my collection a lot. And in my collection, the feeling is more focused on the beauty of nature, so there actually is a specific theme that I have to follow. So it's a little bit less spontaneous than this. This is just out of my mind. So what I wanted to say is that sometimes we just really need to stop and relax, allow ourselves to relax, so that new ideas can grow, like my plants from the weeds. If you relate to anything of this, please let me know in the comments, or just leave a thought of yours. I'm really happy to receive your comments. It makes me realize that there are real people out there watching. Also, on the 13th of July, it will be a year since I started my YouTube channel. And I really wanted to thank you, every single one of you that has followed me in this journey. And I hope that you will stay here, continuing this adventure. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.